The space is titled The Funeral as Restoration, Nigeria Funeral as Restoration of Independent Biafra Enters Final Stage. My fellow Biafrans, without wasting any of your time, I want you to understand that a lot of questions, a lot of concern are out there on the media, especially from Biafrans, and of course, from those one Nigerianists and the Islamic State, terrorist state of Nigeria, as confusion have entered their camp. It is very, very imperative that we come this evening to educate those who may have been misled or those who are still confused about what Biafra government is doing and how we intend to restore Biafra and become an independent state. My fellow Biafrans, today I would like to start by making references to countries that have done similar things that we are doing today. And I want you to understand one thing. What we are doing is restoration of a lost sovereign state. Biafra has been declared in 1967 as a result of injustices, as a result of killing, as a result of the dangerous diversity that the British Empire forced on us, and it didn't work out. So we look for a solution. The solution was discussed in Abori, in Ghana, and the outcome of that discussion gave birth to what is called Abori Accord. Abori Accord was truncated by the same people whose primary purpose was to conquer our land and turn everyone into Islamic State. Upon arrival from Abori, from Ghana to Nigeria, the agreement that was reached, where everybody was happy, was truncated by the same Nigeria under the leadership of Gowon. And they declared war on Biafra. So Biafra needed to defend itself by declaring the independence of Biafra under the leadership of Odumegwu Ojukwu. Just to give you a brief of how far we have come. That led to a genocidal war where Biafra fought against powerful nations of the world. At the end, there was a blockade. Our people did not die because of bullet. They died as a result of blockade through Ambazonia. Today, Ambazonia. So they used Cameroon, and a blockade was enforced, and there was no food coming into Biafra territory. Because then there was no social media. They blocked every media coverage, and nobody knew what was going on. At the end, Cameroon was compensated without the consent of the people using a place called Bakassi. Obasanjo decided that he would fulfill that agreement between Nigeria and Cameroon. So they compensated Cameroon by allowing their border to be used to enforce the blockade of Biafra. And so they gave them Bakassi as a compensation. Not knowing that in 2024, a man called Simon Ekpa will be in Finland, waiting for an opportunity to deal with Nigeria and restore this sovereign state. For the best interest of Biafra people, those survival of that genocidal war. Today it is happening. My fellow Biafrans and friends that are listening this evening, I want you to understand that the reason we are doing what we are doing today in exile is because of the terrorism of the Nigeria state. Nigeria did not and will never give us enabling environment to compete and demonstrate that the people have given them vote of no confidence. So we cannot be on ground to challenge Nigeria. So for that reason, we are in exile and governing our people from exile. We are not the first to have done that. Only different is that our own is peculiar. Because Nigeria as a terrorist state is ready to kill anyone. And especially the leaders of the so-called separatists, as they call them. They are ready to kill, jail, maim, in order to maintain one Nigeria. We have seen in the past how they have killed, maim, and imprisoned without justification other leaders of the Biafra movement. Currently, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were kidnapped from Kenya, renditioned to Nigeria, and have denied even right to his lawyers. So we that have learned from what has happened to others, we decided that we will unleash everything on Nigeria so that they too will learn the hard way. And that's what God have used many of us to do today. And we have just started. So I want you to understand the history of a country called Estonia. And what did I say? We are restoring a lost sovereign state of Biafra. And so what we are doing is not a declaration of Biafra. Declaration of Biafra has been done in 1967, recognized by many countries. And today, what we are doing is a process to restore the lost sovereign state of Biafra. I want you to underline that. We are restoring the lost sovereign state of Biafra. And what it means is that once Biafra is restored, we expect those countries that recognized Biafra in 1967 to validate their recognition. It is a process. They may take us for a ride, but at the end, it will become a reality. So, a country called Estonia. I want you to understand the difference between declaration and restoration of independent state. We are not declaring independence. Biafra has been declared. We are restoring it. Estonia restoration of independence, legally defined as the restoration of the Republic of Estonia. Estonia is a neighboring country to Finland in the Baltic countries. This country was proclaimed on the 20th of August 1991. On that day, at about 11 in the evening, the local time, the Supreme Council of the Republic of Estonia, in agreement with the Estonian Committee, the executive organ of the Congress of Estonia, declared the illegal Soviet occupation. So, in that declaration, it was concluded that Russia, Soviet Union become an illegal occupation, and an annexation of the country terminated. So, and proclaimed the full restoration of independence of Estonia. Underline the word, full restoration. What does that imply? What it means is that Estonia had enjoyed independence before becoming part of the Soviet Union. And so they decided to restore their lost sovereign state. In 1990, on March 30th, 1990, the Supreme Soviet of the Estonian SSR adopted a resolution on the state status of Estonia. The resolution declared that the Soviet occupation of 17 June 1940 did not de jure interrupt the existence of the Republic of Estonia. So which means Estonia has been in existence before the annexation in 1940. And even as that, they wake up one morning in 1990. After how many years? They say that this particular occupation by the Soviet Union did not de jure interrupt the existence of the Republic of Estonia. Even though they have occupied it for many years, they have come to realize that it did not actually interrupt their existence as a Republic of Estonia. So they wake up that day, it becomes their morning. The Supreme Soviet declared the state power of the Estonian SSR illegal from the moment of its establishment, and it proclaimed the state of transitional period to full de facto independence pending the restoration of the constitutional body of the state power of the Republic of Estonia. Underline it. You can research this by yourself when you have the time. Take time and read. Read. Always do research. Read. So that you can be educated, even if you don't go to school or you know how to read. You can just go and educate yourself. When you hear me say Estonia, go and Google Estonia. Independent. So you can educate yourself. That's how things are done. Don't just listen to me and you don't understand what I'm saying and then you go. The name of the Supreme Soviet is thereafter translated as the Supreme Council. A week later, the law or the principles of the interim order of administration of Estonia was adopted. The way I am explaining this thing today is the way some people will explain Biafra, what we did to exit Nigeria at the end of the day. It will be documented. It has already been documented as I speak. So What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that before 1940, Estonia was on their own and was annexed to the USSR, the Soviet Union. And in 1990, they wake up one day and they say, they no do again. This particular union is not working, just like Nigeria. Nigeria was amalgamated in 1990. Today, they thought they have killed everybody. They thought they have used terrorism to put fear on everybody and nobody is talking anymore. Until Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Owazurike, and the late Odumegwu Ojukwu, these people have touched where it pains the imperialists. Now, that's a brief history of Estonia. I will not go into their 1991 Soviet coup that led to this, all this declaration. Now let us go to another neighboring country to Estonia called Latvia. Latvia, as I am saying these names, you can go and educate yourself so that you don't just come and attack Simon Ekpa because other people are attacking me. Those who are working with Nigeria and they are the one accusing me of working with Nigeria, they have set up political party, the IPOB Nigeria Limited Criminals. And then they are saying Simon Ekpa is working for Nigeria government, but they are setting up a political party. They will come and deny it too. They will come and tell you it's a lie, it's a lie. It is not a lie. Abaribe is the one supervising it. And they have actually approached our Navy. They approached our Navy and was trying to convince our Navy that, oh, why can't, they want to send Biafra army into exile. You people can accommodate them in Bakassi so they can send them to exile. We don't know what is going on. I said to the person, Chineke Pogoko, tell that idiot, I am with a charger. Latvia independence, days of restoration. I want you to underline the word restoration of Latvia independence. It did not emphasize on declaration, but restoration, which means Latvia has actually existed before they joined the Soviet Union. This is a Latvian national holiday, an event being celebrated annually on every May, 4th of May. It marks like other Baltic republics because all these countries are in the Baltic. The restoration of the Latvian Republic Declaration by the Supreme Soviet of the Latvian SSR on the May 4th, 1990. This was the official declaration of the restoration of independence and the actual one that brought the international recognition. They say the actual one, which means there has been a lot of attempted declaration, there have been a lot of attempted freedom. But they say this particular May 4th of 1990 was the actual declaration of the restoration of independence that actually brought recognition to the Latvia. And I want you to Google Latvia population. Now, the reason I'm making this is just for you to underline the word restoration. And that's what Biafra government in exile and in the homeland are doing in 2024. Now, fast forward to the international law. I want us to go to the international law, what we're doing. And I would like to make reference to the Montevideo Convention. Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of State. How to recognize and what criteria you have to attain to be recognized as a state. This particular foundation the Biafra government has laid, and we have done the best than any other state has ever done. And I want you people to understand that when we are doing this, they will say, oh, Owazurike made a passport. Under which structure? Under which constitution? Under which instrument? Under which platform? Where is the structure of government of Owazurike? Where is the structure? Where is the government that Owazurike is releasing? Because that's what they do. They say, oh, Owazurike have done it. He released passport. He released a number plate. We are not doing the same. Now, you can print passport. You can print passport. You can print ID card. You can print a number plate. It doesn't make you a nation. It does not qualify you to be recognized under Montevideo Convention. Now, let me tell you what is different between us and Owazurike and the IPOB Nigeria that never fought for Biafra other than political pressure group. Until today, the difference is that we took our time to institute the internationally recognized way to be recognized as a state. Montevideo Convention, Article 1. Article 1 of the Montevideo Convention states, the state as a person of international law should possess the following qualifications. A, permanent population. I want you to now check every other group that has ever fought for Biafra. Have they ever defined the population of Biafra? 1. Article 1 of the Montevideo Convention under international law to be recognized as a state. Article 1 states that the qualification for you to be recognized as a state, you must possess a permanent population. Biafra government have done that through the registration of database and the self-referendum that is still ongoing. We have been able to debunk the lies of our population. Can you imagine where over 50 million has already voted? How many are we? How many are we? You can't tell how many Biafrans are in Nigeria. Everything is estimation, including the population of Nigeria. Nobody knows. It's estimated 200 million, estimated to 30 million, estimated every year. There was estimate that is not exact because there is no data. Biafra government in exile and the homeland has attempted to prove the data of Biafra. And today we have something very, very tangible and fact. Now, B, a defined territory. For you to be recognized as a state, you must have a defined territory. And I want to put it to you from since 1976, 1967 to 70, to 76 to 83, to 1999, that the resurgence of Biafra struggle under Wazirike, nobody has ever brought out map of Biafra. A defined map of Biafra. A defined territory of Biafra until this government of Biafra of today, under the leadership of Simon Ekpa, we have defined our territory and we have 40 United States of Biafra, well designed and explained. That's the last.
Well defined and explained.
Okay, so thank you very much. So we have well defined and explained territory, and it is called the 40 United States of Biafra. Map has been presented to everywhere internationally. Now, if you do not have these things in place, what are you printing passport for? What are you printing number plate for? So when you see them say, Wazirike did it, we are different. Have you seen it different? Under what platform, under which institution will anybody print passport without meeting this criteria under international law? I'm telling you, international law, not the law of Africa. Now, number C, a government. For you to be recognized under international law as a state, you must have a government. That is number C under Article 1. Today, Biafra is not an organization. It's not IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, registered in London. We are a government in exile. We have also a de facto government in the homeland for easy transition of government as soon as recognition starts coming. We have put everything in place. I want you to understand what we are doing because you people don't know what we are doing. So today, I will give you a little bit ice or tip of the iceberg. Number D, under Article 1, I'm still on Article 1, capacity to enter into relation with other states. As Wazirike Mosob, do they have capacity to enter into any relation as a state? Under IPOB Nigeria Limited, that will never fighting for Biafra, do they have the capacity to enter into a relation for any government to recognize them? The answer is no. But today, we are in government. And that's why we can discuss with Congress. That's why we can boldly present ourselves to any government in the world as a government in exile. And under the Montevideo Convention, I want you to educate. Don't just listen to me. Go and educate yourself. Under Montevideo Convention, I am still in Article 1. Article 1 has A, B, C, D. And I am now explaining the D. The D says that you, as a state, must demonstrate that you have a capacity to enter into relation with other states. That's what Biafra government has demonstrated by opening liaison offices all over the world. Not only that, representing Biafra people, coming to their aid whenever the need arises, and again, unveiling and defending Biafra land using the Biafra Defense Forces. Under the Biafra Defense Forces, you have Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra Resistance Fighters, Biafra Navy, and what have you. Many more. Police is coming. That is the difference between us and every other Biafra group that has ever made any noise anyway. So when they tell you Simon Ekpa is unveiling national ID card, Wazirika have done it, tell them the difference. When they tell you, oh, Simon Ekpa want to launch a passport, Wazirika did it, this is what, tell them the difference. The difference is that we are in a government, and under international law, ours are recognized. Wazirika is not a government. Wazirika is just an organization who don't know what he was doing. He has no structure. He has no institution of the government in place. He has nothing. So he was just shouting Biafra, Biafra, and used it to make fortune under Nigeria state. And you can see that yourself. I'm not here to attack him. He has done a very good job, because it is through his platform that Mazinam become come on board. It is through that platform that the Biafra government is here. So it is a betting, a race, a relay race. You run and give, and now we're in the final leg, and I'm going to be the final one. I will hand over freedom to Biafra people. Now, let us go to Article 2 of the Montevideo Convention. The federal state shall constitute a sole person in the eye of international law. This is what we have done. Perfectly perfecto, without no mistake. I am still in the Montevideo Convention. The political existence on Article 3, the political existence of the state is independent of recognition by other states. Even before recognition, the state has the right to define its integrity and independence, to provide for its conservation and prosperity, and consequently to organize itself as it sees fit, to legislate upon its interests, administers its services, and to define the jurisdiction and the competence of its court. The existence of this right has no other limitation than the exercise of the right of other states in accordance with international law. I want you to understand that exactly what the Biafra government have done perfectly well, because we come with template. We did not just come to make noise. We did not just come to do try and lock. I told you people, it is not about this Montevideo Convention that I'm, but I'm just telling you, I just want you to understand, it is beyond this. It is beyond this. And that's why nobody knows what is hitting Nigeria today, including Nigeria themselves. Because I came to this struggle or liberation prepared. Now, I want us to go to Article 6 of the Montevideo Convention. And so that when you are talking as somebody supporting the Biafra government, you will talk like a sensible person. That we are never the same with everything they have seen in the past. Number 6, Article 6 of the Montevideo Convention says, the recognition of a state merely signifies that the state which recognizes it accepts the personality of the other with all the rights and duties determined by international law. Recognition is unconditional and irrevocable. I want you to understand that with this particular article, those who have recognized Biafra of 1967, it is still valid. Because this law says recognition is what? Irrevocable. It is us, our conduct, that will now convince them to continue the recognition of Biafra after 2024, December 2nd. They say that this recognition is unconditional and under international law and irrevocable. So you cannot take your recognition back. Biafra government have started a process for this recognition to continue. We have been able to delegitimize Nigeria, which the process is going to take a very long time. It is still ongoing. The sit at home is part of the delegitimization of Nigeria. When they tell you that people are suffering in Biafra, you think that they actually care because people are suffering? The answer is no. They don't care shit about you. Sorry about my language. They don't care. These people don't care if you die. How many people have died in northern Nigeria? Do they care? Are they not human beings? Are they not Nigerians again? Do you see them showing any concern? The answer is no. They share concern in the southeast. Oh, people are dying for sit at home. No! They actually understand the consequences of the sit at home as a vote of no confidence and as a loss of territory and legitimacy to the Biafra people. That's what they're shouting about. Not because of you. The people that they threaten to lock your shop if you don't open, does that show care? So what sense does it make? If you did not open your shop, we are going to lock it. So is that how to show you love? That you must open your shop, otherwise they are going to lock it. They are actually threatening you, doing the thing they are accusing Biafra of doing. So if you do not open your shop, we are going to lock it. And if you open one and you do not open, they will lock it for 1 month. You will never, they will see your shop forever and you will not sell again. Does that show you that they actually love you? So if somebody who actually cares that you are not going to shop to make money, is it by locking it up if you don't go? The answer is no, because they never care. They only care about restoring this particular integrity they have lost to the Biafra government. That's all. Let us look at number 10, Article 10 of the Montevideo Convention. Article 10 says, the primary interest of state is the conservation of peace. Differences of any nature which arises between them should be settled by recognized specific method. This is what Biafra government has done, and we are bringing this to the table by making sure we recognize any differences that arise between us, and we settle it by a recognized specific method. Now tell me, what differences has Nigeria solved in the past 100 years? Nothing. They fuel ethnic differences, they fuel anarchy, animosity, they fuel ethnic cleansing, they sponsor terrorism, jihad against Christians, we Christians, they kill us, they burn our villages, kill our women and children, and they have never ever settled any differences of any kind. We are bringing a solution to that under Biafra government. My fellow Biafrans, I want you to understand that in this convention, we are going to unveil a lot of things in order to solidify the Biafra government. We will do wonders, including the unveiling of the Biafra currency, Ejema. Ejema will be unveiled. The constitution amended will be unveiled, voted for and adopted in Finland. And why this is happening in Finland is because of the terrorist state of Nigeria that will never give us the enabling environment to challenge them in our homeland. So we challenge them from exile. And from exile, we will begin to fight for the recognition of Biafra using every international instrument available to us. And that particular international instrument available to us is not limited to our lobbying different groups, state, government, policy makers, decision makers, government officials, from the State Department to Congress to American Intelligence Agency, to all of them. Because once they follow us, others follow them. The secret you don't know is what I didn't tell you. My fellow Biafrans, in Finland, everything will happen. And today, we've had everything that is needed to make this a reality. So I've just come this evening to let you understand the difference between us and them. And like I said, many propaganda will come. Stand firm. Stand firm. Do not panic. Do not move an inch, for the time to go home has come. The restoration of Biafra will be declared, it will be defended, and at the end of the day, those who believe in what we are doing, who believe in humanity, will recognize us, and at the long run, the shame will be upon the enemy. I will leave it here. so I can entertain questions.